Hi everybody, it's September 20th, 2025. Um, it's easy to forget that challenges mostly increase our strength and increase our tolerance and patience. And they teach us to love life at a deeper level. And we forget that sometimes, and then we go a long time without challenges and we start to feel hopeless and we start to feel useless until we remember that we like growth. We like a certain level of tactileness to be able to touch life and to affect life and to see changes happen in most capacities. And so one of the situations we find ourselves in is when we are surrounded by spiritual enemies. And these spiritual enemies are not necessarily actual people, but they are thought forms that deny you clarity, they deny you peace, they deny you acumen, they deny you autonomy. They surround you. These spiritual beings surround you, and they try to box you in and have you be paranoid about your life and give you and block your sense of direction. And in some sense, these spiritual beings are part of you, or they are attached to you in some respect. And the way to escape from being surrounded by these thought forms, these spiritual beings, is to first, I always say it, but I like to slow down when you feel, when I feel overwhelmed. Slowing down, it widens your aperture of vision when you slow down. So slow down when you're surrounded by paranoid thoughts, by confinement. And next is to invite truths. Invite truths to the situation. And things will be so loud at first that you can't hear it, the truth coming in. Things will be distracting, and you have negative sentences running through your head. But if you try the divine truth from each situation, to combat each spiritual being that's coming at you at a different angle, you start to wield the truth like a weapon. And when you start wielding truth like the weapon, you become your own best help. And you start knocking down these spiritual beings one by one, and you gain your freedom. But that doesn't mean that they won't stop following you, and that doesn't mean you necessarily have to run. It means walking with confidence and then building things to prove them wrong one by one. Once you prove these spiritual beings wrong enough, they will disappear. But your lack of confidence may bring them back. And I know that may seem unfair, but gaining confidence in the spiritual aspects of your life is going to affect your walking life through this physical realm and this more tactile situations that you find yourself in. So once you gain spiritual confidence, your competence in everyday life increases and it becomes more fruitful. When I was younger, it's kind of odd that I seemed to get tired more quickly than I do now. And it could be from the weight of ignorance. The weight of ignorance was upon me when I was trying to fight my demons, and that made things harder. It made things multiple times harder to deal with because I had doubt. I turned my anger inward. I had addictions and vices that were unchecked. I was unhealthy. I was overweight. So all of those things weighed on me while I was trying to fight. And the core the core mistake that I made was not bringing in the truth to the situations. It wasn't that I was lying to myself, but I was battling on my I was battling using my insecurities as fuel. And what that would do is that will color things to make them seem more dire than they are. So when you are outnumbered by yourself, it is best to seek health in the right places. And that comes from you, and that comes from honesty and purity, that comes from reliance on God and understanding what God wants from us. And that's pretty simple to do. And you will start to find yourself, you will start to uncover yourself like an archaeologist, piece by piece. And once you find enough of yourself, then your power increases. I'm not saying that you might be invincible or not, but your power increases and your actions are more meaningful. So I hope this helps. Thanks.